Welcome back to the Bluechip Breakdown, Vols fans. I'm your host, Bull. There's been a whole lot of talk about our linebackers, especially on this channel. Think they'll be much improved from last season. I want to go through a couple of screenshots that Pete sent me last night and just kind of break down why I think some of y'all will be blown away at how the linebacker play was for, I would say, 95% of the snaps last season. And, obviously, before we get into it, y'all, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all of the support that we have been getting. Very close to 6,000 subs. And I think that we will be able to get there maybe by the end of this week, but definitely by kickoff. So thank y'all so much. Big shout out to all the members of the channel. You can become a member by clicking the join button just below, and you will get the exclusive content that we can't share on this side of YouTube. Also, really big shout out to everyone that's been donating to the channel. You can donate and help to support us by scanning the Cash App QR code in the top right-hand corner of this video. And something else too, this is a really big one. We had talked some about getting people onto our live streams, especially on game days. So we'll have a pre-game live stream, and we'll also have a post-game live stream. And we want to get as many people on as we possibly can. Of course, it's going to be a limited number of slots for each, for each stream. But if you have been a member of this channel, if you have been a member of our Patreon, or if you have donated to this channel, then you are eligible to join us on those live streams. Instead of using Patreon, which isn't as much of a streamlined process as I thought it would be, we are going to use JotForm. So I went on ahead and made that whole sign up sheet. The links, of course, will be down in the description below. Please make sure that y'all go check that out. I've got plenty of, step-by-step guides. I actually have a whole video just kind of walking you through the entire process. It is not difficult. It's very easy, but I just want to make sure that people, understand how the whole process works, things like that. Okay. So y'all, please go check that out. It is live. Okay. It is live right now. So y'all can go ahead and start signing up for the UT chat game if you want to be a part of that. Just make sure that you have been a member, or that you've donated, or that you've been a member of our Patreon. With all that being said, again, thank y'all so much. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so we'll be taking a look at a sequence of screenshots from a play that P sent to me last night. This is us versus Alabama last season. Primary focus is going to be this linebacker right here. I just want for y'all to see how our linebackers played pretty much all season, and just how remarkable it was that we were actually really good at stopping the run. So on this play, we're going to have a jet sweep. So this wide receiver is going to be coming on over. And I actually think that Milrow does a really nice job on this pitch because he keeps his hands low. This little dot right here, that is the football. So this actually just looks like Milrow is just kind of faking it to this jet sweep guy. And then he's maybe going to hand it off to this running back. He could also, play action and throw out of this. It could be like a play action boot, whatever. But as we, just kind of go through, y'all will see what I'm talking about. And it's not just off of this player. There's a few other players I would say that just didn't do a really good job on this play. This is the other linebacker, and he's going to be coming on a blitz. So let's move on to the next one. And what we're seeing is this player is still in the exact same spot, okay? So I can kind of understand why, because like we said, this running back, you can't tell, is this a handoff or not? But at the same time, if you think that it is a handoff, you should be up here. Like, why are we still standing in this same spot? That would be my first question. And then I guess the answer to that would be, okay, well, hey, it could be some sort of a bootleg, like we talked about. So maybe he's trying to wait around for pass coverage, things like that. But we're going to see on this next clip why that's not going to be very possible. So boom, on this one, okay, this linebacker is still in the same spot. But what do y'all notice, right? Right here, we've got an offensive lineman that's way up on his second level, right? Because the linebackers play on the second level. And if the offensive lineman is getting up this far, that should let you know right away this is not a pass play. And if it is, then they're going to have an ineligible player down the field. So you should have, I mean, for sure at this point, you should have been shot out of a cannon and trying to do something and not just standing around. Because we see now that the wide receiver, the player who actually does have the ball, is already around the edge, and he's going to make a decision right here based off of what this star player does. Is start make him come back to the inside by going to his outside. That's what he should do. Okay, that's what he's supposed to do. But guess what? If he does that, look, boom, he comes in here. Guess who's not here to be found? The linebacker. So I mean, that would have been a large gain either way. Now at this point, he's still in this, and he's still in the same spot, and this offensive lineman has actually run past him. And I don't think that it looks like the offensive lineman isn't even considering blocking him, because he's like, okay, well, this guy's standing here like a statue. I don't need to worry about him. And he's going to block this player right there. Now, what do you notice about this player? Well, I'll tell you, he came from this side of that same linebacker that's in the exact same spot, and he ran right in front of him. Okay. what is that linebacker doing? He's still standing here. So I don't know how many signs or clues that you would need to understand that, hey, maybe you should move somewhere and do something. But also, this running back is just standing here. He's not doing anything. So even, I mean, either way, like there is nothing that is correct about what this linebacker is doing. I would blame that 100% on the coaching staff. We'll get back to that in just a second. But now we're seeing, okay, this wide receiver is moving a little bit further up the field. I think this is a really nice job by this star player. Okay, you kind of force him back to the inside, and now he's getting off of a block. That kind of goes back to what we talked about the previous time that we did this, how difficult Star is to play. That's a tight end blocking him. So either way, okay, this is really bad coaching because, yeah, I mean, you should have moved up here. And even if you started to take those steps in this direction and you realize, oh, wait, the play's out here. At least now, look at this. You're in a much better position than where you are right now to get yourself walled off. You're slowing down all your teammates. I mean, this is awful. I'm just gonna tell you that right. This is absolutely awful. I would put this mostly on the coaching staff. Probably Coach BJ specifically, because number one, I mean, you should teach your players how to play downhill at that position. That's what you're supposed to do. You can't over process. You can't be thinking too much, especially if you can't, walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. I mean, that's just unacceptable from that perspective. I feel like as a coach to not be able to, get these guys playing on a much higher level than they did, especially on these few clips. But that's how it was for almost every single one of our games. That's why we lost to Florida. I mean, that's why we lost several games. But anyway, it's also very discouraging that this player is out there starting, right? It's because I mean, it's almost impossible to imagine that anyone else on this entire team, offense, defense, special teams, wouldn't have at least moved somewhere at this point in the play. To just literally be standing there with everything that's kind of going on around you, I mean, that is crazy. And I put some of this on Coach Tim Banks as well. Now, I'm going to just say that that was kind of an outlier season because Keenan Pili goes down. We had to play some guys that we weren't necessarily ready to play, or maybe they weren't necessarily ready to play. But again, the coaches, I mean, it's their job to get the players ready. The difference this season is we know that we've got players that are ready. And, God forbid, if we have Keenan Pili go down, what's behind him is going to be a lot better. And I also love the way the coach Inge is teaching. He's a real teacher. He breaks things down. I mean, he covers every type of learning, every type of way that people learn. And I've seen that, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's visual, audio, or, physically going through it. I think he does a good job of doing all that. So I think and believe, I trust that our linebacking core is going to be a lot better than it was last season. I mean, honestly, looking at some of these clips, I mean, I don't know how they could be worse. That was just about the worst linebacking season that I've seen Tennessee have in a while. I mean, they were really really bad. We all know that some players were banged up. I don't want to paint a bad picture. I don't want to say any names specifically, but if you know, you just know. So we're taking a really big step forward right there, and I think that our front seven as a whole is going to be a major factor in why this defense is going to be potentially top five. If our secondary can, have any sort of competence, this defense should be somewhere around the top 10. So very, very excited to see how things will look, all the different rotations, things like that. I feel like we're about 5 to 6 deep of real players, real playmakers at the linebacker position. We talk so much about Keenan Pili, but Arion Carter looks like he's just going to have an absolute breakout year. I think I'll talk about him in every single video, but you can't forget about Jeremiah Telander. He's another dog. I think we've got three linebackers that are probably better than anything that we've had up under Coach Heupel this season. And then we've got Caleb Perry, who's kind of coming into his own. He looks different, right? I mean, that's something else. That's how you know that it is coaching because he was here last season. He looks a lot different in everything that we have seen. Also, Edwin Spillman is looking good. Jalen Smith is looking really good. So, we also have guys like Eli Purcell. I think that he looks really good as well. So we've got a whole lot of bodies right there, and I think that there's a whole lot of reason for us to be excited. But those are my thoughts on this one. Y'all let me know yours down in the comment section. As always, please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends, family, and other volunteer fans. We'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace.